All right, let's get right into it. You've got $100. Now, in the old world, yeah, that gets you a decent dinner. But in this new economy, we're going to use it to build an empire. And look, this isn't some get-rich-quick fantasy. This is a blueprint for execution, a tactical guide for deploying a micro-asset that can actually generate freedom. So forget everything you've been told. We're starting from zero, with a budget that, let's be honest, most people would laugh at. And we're going to turn it into a weapon.
This right here, this quote, is the absolute core mindset you need to adopt right now. That $100 bill, it's not a prison. It's a filter. It strips away all the junk, all the noise, all the vanity projects and wasteful spending that kills businesses before they even get off the ground. It forces you to be surgical, to be precise. This limitation is what separates the tourists, the people just playing business, from the architects who are building something that lasts.
So, let's be perfectly clear about what this is. This is not just cash. It's capital. It's your seed funding. It's the entire runway for our whole operation. And every single dollar has a mission. We are not consumers spending money. We are fund managers allocating capital. You got to make that mental shift because it's the first and most critical step. Deployed with the kind of precision we're about to go through, this isn't just buying a business, it's buying you leverage.
And this is what we're building. Look, we are not launching another generic dropshipping store. That term is dead. We are deploying a micro asset. The goal here isn't just to make a couple of sales. The primary mission is to prove a concept, to validate a product and a market with the absolute minimum exposure and risk. We operate in stealth, proving this thing works before the wider market even has a clue we exist. That's the game.
Okay, let's get tactical. Phase 1, infrastructure. This is where we build the hull of our ship, and it has to be fast, it has to be lean, and it has to be brutally efficient. This is where most people, almost everyone, gets totally bogged down. They spend weeks, hundreds of dollars on things that just do not matter yet. We're not going to do that. We're operators, and we build for speed.
Okay, so let's break down the money, because this is where the precision really starts. First up, we leverage that Shopify $1 for 3 months promotion. This is hands down the greatest arbitrage opportunity in software right now. That's $1. Next, your identity, a domain name. You can get one from a site like Namecheap for about $12. So for a grand total of $13, you own a fully functional e-commerce platform. Everything else, that $87, that is your war chest. It stays untouched for now. It's our strategic reserve.
And this slide just perfectly lays out the two paths you can take with that war chest. The consumer mindset, they see that money and they start burning it. They buy a $200 theme. They hire some random person for a logo. They waste capital on stuff that is literally zero impact on getting your first sale. The fund manager, the professional, understands that capital is only for one thing, generating more capital. Use Canva for a logo. Use Shopify's free Dawn theme. They're fast, they're clean, and they cost you nothing.
Listen to me on this one. Speed is your currency. It's the only thing that matters right now. The mission is to get your store live in under 4 hours. Not 4 days, 4 hours. If you spend more time than that, you're already getting lost in the weeds, you're perfecting things that don't matter, and you've basically failed the mission before it's even begun. Get in, build the ship, and get out.
All right, phase 2, target acquisition. The ship is built. Now we need to figure out where we're sailing. And this part, it is not about guessing what product might sell. Guessing? That's for amateurs. What we're doing is conducting an intelligence operation. We're going to find the target that is already proven to work.
So here's the playbook. It's actually pretty simple. You go directly to the TikTok Creative Center. It's a free goldmine of data. You look for top ads and you immediately filter by the conversions objective. Why? Because that tells the platform your goal is a sale. So TikTok literally shows you other ads that are successfully making sales right now. You're not guessing what works, you're looking at what is working. You're searching for these problem solver products, stuff like you see here. You're not stealing ideas, you're stealing data.
Now, before you even think about moving forward, you have to apply the 3x rule. This is completely non-negotiable. If you can get the product for, say, $10, you have to be able to sell it for at least $30, period. This margin gives you room for everything: expenses, maybe a refund, and most importantly,
profit. If that 3x margin isn't there, the business is dead on arrival. You just abandon the target and find a new one. No exceptions. And that brings us to phase 3, the offensive. The infrastructure is built. The target is acquired. Now, we go to war. This, right here, is the great filter. It's where 99% of people with a $100 budget completely fail. This is where their entire war chest gets vaporized in, like, a matter of hours. But our strategy? It's different. It's designed to sidestep that trap completely.
So, what's the killer? Let's just ask the question directly. Where does that budget just die? Why do so many people fail right at this point? It's not a mystery. It's a single, catastrophic, and completely avoidable mistake that people are somehow taught is the only way to succeed.
And here it is. Paid ads. Specifically, Facebook ads. This is the trap. People take their tiny $87 war chest, they pour it into some ad campaign with absolutely zero data, and they watch it burn to zero in 2 hours. Game over. Mission failed. So let me be crystal clear. You will not spend a single cent on paid ads at this stage. It is financial suicide.
So instead of that, we deploy something called organic guerrilla warfare. This is all about algorithmic arbitrage, which is really just a fancy way of saying we're exploiting a loophole. See, platforms like TikTok and Instagram, they want good content to keep people on their app. We're going to give them that content, and in return, they're going to give us their audience for free. We are trading our time and creativity for the algorithm's reach.
Okay, so here's exactly what you're going to do. You take $30 from your war chest and you order the product. Use Amazon Prime, get it fast. Now, you become the production studio. You film a simple 10-second video following this hook, bridge, payoff formula. So say you're selling a portable blender. The hook is showing someone struggling with a clumpy protein shake. The bridge is showing your blender just mixing it perfectly. The payoff is them happily drinking a smooth shake. It's that simple. Then you post that one video to TikTok, to Instagram Reels, and to YouTube Shorts. 3 platforms, 1 piece of content, 0 ad spend.
Okay, so the offensive is launched. Your content is out there in the wild, being judged by the algorithms. Now what? Well, now we hit the final phase, compounding. This is where we analyze the results and we leverage them to build real momentum, turning one single action into a whole cascade of wins.
And the feedback loop here is just brutally simple. If the video flops, if it gets no views, you don't quit. You re-edit it. Change the first 2 seconds, that's the hook. Change the music, change the text on the screen, and then you post it again. You just keep iterating. But if it goes viral, you have just generated sales with a customer acquisition cost of $0. That's the holy grail of e-commerce, and you got there not with money, but with strategy. So let's just do a quick recap of the numbers. Check this out. $1 for Shopify, $12 for the domain, $30 for the product sample. Our total cash burn is just $43. And this is so important. You still have $57 left in your war chest. That's your safety net. That's for your first product order for a potential refund. You are operating with a huge cash reserve relative to what you started with. And this brings us to the absolute core of this entire breakdown. The real barrier to entry isn't money. $100 is not a barrier. The real barrier is your ego. It's that little voice inside you that feels like you're too good to just pick up your phone, film a simple video, and do the manual labor of making content. This is not a business for the lazy. It's a business for the hungry, for the operators who are actually willing to execute. You have the blueprint, you have the budget, you understand the entire strategy from infrastructure to the offensive. Every single excuse, I don't have enough money, I don't know where to start, I can't afford ads, all of them have been just systematically dismantled. There is nothing left standing between you and the objective. So the time for talking, for thinking, for learning, that's over. The only thing left to do is execute.